The Professor, the Theologian and Storyteller, The Life and Legacy of C.S. Lewis. C.S. Lewis was a renowned writer as well as scholar and theologian, who was known for his captivating works of fantasy and Christian apologetics. He is best known for his beloved series, The Chronicles of Narnia, and his thought-provoking works on Christianity, including Mere Christianity and the Screwtape letters. His life was shaped by tragedy, intellectual curiosity, and a deep sense of faith, leading him to become one of the most influential writers of the 20th century. Lewis was born on November 29, 1898, in Belfast, Ireland, to Albert James Lewis and Flora Augusta Hamilton. He had an older brother, Warren, and the two were inseparable growing up. Their childhood was marred by the untimely death of their mother when Lewis was just 10 years old. This loss had a profound impact on Lewis, who later described his mother as a gentle and loving woman who had a significant influence on his life and imagination. After his mother's death, Lewis and his brother were sent to boarding schools in England. It was during this time that Lewis developed a love for literature and writing. He was an avid reader, devouring books on mythology, fairy tales and adventure stories. He also began writing his own stories and poetry, often inspired by his childhood experiences and the stories he read. In 1916, Lewis was accepted into University College, Oxford, where he studied classics and philosophy. His studies were interrupted by the First World War, and he enlisted in the British Army in 1917. He was sent to the front lines in France, where he experienced the horrors of war firsthand. This experience would later influence his writing, particularly his portrayal of war and sacrifice in the Chronicles of Narnia. After the war, Lewis returned to Oxford and completed his studies, graduating with first-class honors in 1922. During this time, he also developed a lifelong friendship with fellow writer J.R.R. Tolkien, who would become a significant influence on his writing. Together they formed a literary group called the Inklings, which met regularly to discuss their works and share ideas. In 1925, Lewis was elected a Fellow of Magdalen College, Oxford, where he taught English literature for nearly 3 decades. He also became a renowned scholar and specialized in medieval literature and languages. His academic work was highly respected, and he published numerous books and articles on literature, including The Allegory of Love and a preface to Paradise Lost. Despite his academic success, Lewis struggled with his faith throughout his early adulthood. He was raised in a Christian household, but had become an atheist by the age of 15. However, his friendship with other Christian colleagues sparked his interest in Christianity, and he began to explore its teachings and beliefs. In 1929, Lewis underwent a profound spiritual transformation, which he later described as a surprising and joyous conversion. He became a devout Christian and dedicated his life to studying and defending the Christian faith. This newfound faith would become a central theme in his writing, and he often used his works to explore Christian themes and ideas. One of Lewis's most significant contributions to Christian apologetics was his book Mere Christianity, published in 1952. In this book, Lewis presents a logical and persuasive argument for the existence of God and the truth of Christianity. It became one of the most influential Christian books of the 20th century, and its impact can still be seen today. Another notable work is the Screwtape letters, published in 1942. This satirical novel is written from the perspective of a senior demon, Screwtape, who writes letters to his nephew, a young demon named Wormwood, on how to tempt and corrupt humans. Through this clever and thought-provoking book, Lewis explores the concept of temptation and the battle between good and evil. The first book in the series, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, was published in 1950 and became an instant success. Set during World War II, it follows the adventures of four siblings who stumble upon the enchanted world of Narnia through a magical wardrobe. The series went on to sell millions of copies worldwide and has been translated into over 47 languages. The Chronicles of Narnia not only captivated readers with its imaginative storytelling and fantastical creatures, but also contained powerful Christian allegories. The character of Aslan, a wise and majestic lion who sacrifices himself for the salvation of others, is often seen as a representation of Jesus Christ. This theme of sacrifice and redemption is woven throughout the series, making it a beloved and enduring work of literature. In addition to the Chronicles of Narnia, Lewis also wrote several other works of fantasy, including the Space Trilogy, which explores Christian themes through a science fiction lens. He also wrote The Great Divorce, a thought-provoking allegory about the afterlife, as well as Till We Have Faces, which is a retelling of the myth of Cupid and Psyche. Lewis's writing career was cut short when he passed away on November 22, 1963, at the age of 64. 7 years prior to his death, he had married Joy David Mann Gresham, an American writer and poet, and their love story is chronicled in the film Shadowlands. Lewis's death was a great loss to the literary world, but his works continue to inspire and influence readers of all ages. C.S. Lewis's legacy extends far beyond his literary achievements. He was a devoted friend, a respected scholar, and a passionate defender of the Christian faith. His works have been adapted into films, stage productions, and even a theme park, solidifying his place in popular culture. But perhaps his greatest legacy is the impact his writing has had on readers, inspiring them to think deeply about faith, morality, and the power of imagination. As Lewis himself once said, literature adds to reality, it does not simply describe it. It enriches the necessary competencies that daily life requires and provides, and in this respect, it irrigates the deserts that our lives have already become.